child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. Blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Such sights to show you. We'll tear your soul apart.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Sex equals death, okay? Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs. It's a sin, it's an extension of number 1. And number 3, never, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'll be right back!
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Sports.
Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody. That's right, folks. We lead the sports first. I get this out of the way. 31 fucking years in the playoff drought is over. We gotta win. Yes, I'm 37. They haven't won since I was 6. I've never won this shit my entire life. Now on to Tennessee, and I'm done. Let's talk screen. That's what people
Oh, shit, man. And there you have it.
That went even better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Hey, gang.
Oh,
Welcome
my
to Death Curse Society. we wanted to do something a little special for Colonel since he'd had, a
Oh,
31-year break in playoff wins for his beloved Bengals. So, congratulations, Colonel. I was cheering for you guys all the way.
Thank you. They sure as fuck made it interesting there at the
Yeah.
end. Fucking A, here we go again.
They did.
I was like,
Hey, I'm Red Crank. We got the Colonel. We got Zigzag. How we doing, gentlemen? Ziggy, how you doing?
man, I am fucking screamed out. I ain't even gonna lie. I am fucking. I've seen them all now a lot the last 2, 3, 4 days, and capped it off with a fresh, brand new viewing of Scream 5. Scream, it's a new thing now. You call it the same title of the original 25 years ago, 40 years ago. You get the point.
The
But
requel.
yeah, man.
The recall.
Yeah.
There was a lot to take in with that movie. I mean, we'll get into
Love
it.
it though? Don't you love when we have to watch like a bunch of movies we really don't like to get ready for a new review?
It's
Man,
not even that.
That's part of the business, though. That's what we signed up for, unfortunately.
I know.
It's not even that. They're not even that. It's not. I get the not cup of tea thing, but they're not bad fucking movies overall. Really, I appreciate Scream for what it is, but I mean, yeah, in the end, there's so many other things I would rather watch.
I have
But,
some.
it was
I have
definitely
some
nice
things to
catching
bring
up.
up later.
Never
Cool.
made a rule
Yeah,
from the
definitely.
start, Zag. Fuck, we didn't even start talking about it. We already know your stance. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
You gotta wait.
You don't know where I ranked it though.
Actually, yes, I do. I was trying
you do.
not to look at it because
I didn't give a fuck about this. There's 5 fucking movies. They're all going to be pretty close to the same thing, I think. Here.
Yeah, we're actually, but we are all different. In the middle, at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but
But
let's be honest though. In the middle, I'm pretty sure everything's fucking interchangeable, right?
Almost, yeah.
Well, there's one clear cut worst one, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
And there's one clear cut best one. So
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna make it a boring night, guys.
except for the middle, because we're gonna fight over that middle, man.
Oh shit.
Oh, I'm not putting up a fight. I will not say there's a right or wrong answer in any of those.
All right,
Go
we
ahead.
got Tyrone here. We got Andy. Andy is ready for. He heard there would be shenanigans. So yes,
Yeah. And there will be.
Shenanigans are plenty.
We've got some stuff.
Shenanigans are afoot. Orlando's here. Stacy Lynn's here. Happy Monday, Maniacs.
Oh fuck.
Happy.
It is.
Oh no. She said. Oh damn. Where is that? She said, "Happy Manic Monday." is what she
No,
said.
no,
Oh yes.
no. You know how long it's been? No.
I was just looking at it.
How long it's taking to find it? No.
I got it. It's right here.
Get it? Get it?
It's right here.
It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. My I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is a Ford Mustang flying down the road when it's needed and just wipe them all the fuck out?
How long have we gone without playing that clip, though? It's been a while.
Not long enough.
All
It's been a
right.
while.
All right.
It has
It's
been a
funny.
while.
I pretend like I absolutely hate this, but I don't. Sorry, I broke character. Ooh.
Raymond's here. Patricia's here. Luke is back.
Luke.
Luke's been busy. He's just
Oh.
recovering over COVID. Hope you're getting better, sir.
You too. Yeah.
Spoke to him a couple days ago, and he has seen Scream. I'm sure we'll get some input from him here shortly.
Ugh.
Oh, damn. Is that the new total for it now, Orlando? Orlando says 48 million. Last I saw was around 35.
Yep.
All right.
They got my $18 today. Fuck.
18. Shit. I got my $55.
Got to go to those matinees, son.
Good Lord.
I did. I
Good.
went fucking noon, and it's still
Oh, but you-
$25 for 2 tickets.
Are you including your concessions as well?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, then, yes. Then I spent near 40.
Gotta get popcorn and pop.
I did.
that.
Even though
I took my own soda. Fuck that.
That was the first thing I ate today, so it, I got the greased stomach like a half hour into it, so I was all cramped up. It sucked, but
Yeah,
wasn't because of the movie at least.
Dude, the beginning of the third act was when the fucking butter kicked in for me. It was like, I was like, oh, God.
The hell
God
they eat?
damn.
I see you can pay like $2 now at my theater. They'll give you real butter. So I'm gonna have to try that next time.
$2
I
extra
noticed it
bucks.
after the fact.
Jesus.
Yeah, they got a little thing and they fry it up right there. And
All right.
Look at the fancy smancy place you fucking got.
No shit. That's some gourmet fucking shit going on.
What's the gourmet shit? I know how good the popcorn is, Jules. Don't get into that. Okay?
We got a John here. He says, I thought the new Scream was the best since part 2. Okay. Yeah.
I can see
We're gonna
that.
get into it. It was, I'll say, at first.
And then on the opposing side to that, Adam says it was all right, incredibly predictable.
I can see that too. Yeah,
I can see that. I'll say this. I'll even say it. I was half right on picking my 2 killers. I got one dead on, and I was dead wrong on the other.
No, I nailed it.
Nailed it, both of them.
One of them was exposed not even halfway in.
Oh yeah, Dewey fucked it up.
Completely.
Dewey fucked it up. Dewey ruined that for me. So he got it. Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Patricia says, I'm over here being super hardcore, watching Monday Maniacs, drinking some Yoo-Hoo. I love hard guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I live hard, guys. Okay. I live hard.
I live hard, comma, guys.
Guys, got it.
Ah, the French.
Don't get me started on the fucking French. Just keep going.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everybody.
Yeah.
Hope you are celebrating your freedoms and all that good stuff. I don't know. Hope you had a day off.
And the good fight the good fight continues, and fuck you. It would have been nice to have a day off. Oh, we're going to need you guys to work. We're taking your holiday away. Yep.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole. Asshole.
There we go. I knew we needed the second one.
It always comes in bunches, you know that.
All right. Shiori's here. She asked if Lorena's going to be showing her face. She will be joining us here momentarily. We always have this little introductory period where we just bullshit for a few minutes before we get into anything.
Catch it up.
But yeah, I mean, because you guys may not understand this. We don't really see or talk to each other much during the week. Colonel works all the fucking time.
Yeah, this is my only time to actually talk to these guys. Like, talk, not just respond real quick. Yeah, that was cool.
Right.
Yeah, go with that. Right. Usually we throw some ideas at Colonel. Colonel, we're thinking about this. He'll be like, yay or nay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And that's it. But yeah, she'll be joining us here in just a little bit. So
yes.
And yeah, so I guess we can start getting into it.
Why don't you do the thing? You go
yeah.
The thing.
I'm not doing the whole thing.
Not the whole thing?
No, I'm tired of that whole thing. It takes too long.
Well, thank the fucking fans at least. Well,
that's what I'm going to do.
That's what we need to do. That's the only one that
matters.
matters.
What we need to do.
Yeah.
Special thanks to our members, our final girls and guys, Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone. And then, of course, to our Crazy Ralphs, Angelo and Raymond, and our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. Thank you to all of them.
Always stepping on the applause.
I stopped.
Tyler, better motherfucker.
I gotta wait. I gotta just give them a couple of seconds to go there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thanks to you guys for supporting the society. And if you also would like to support the society, check out our website at deathcursesociety.com. Head over to the join page, and you will see all the tiers of everything that is available for that. One of the perks is you get to come and be on our show for a little bit and give us a top 5 ranking, help us review a movie, sometimes like that. That's a perk for the final girls and guys. And
what do we call it? A perk, though.
I would call it a perk.
I you know what I'm saying? It's so what a letdown when you look at the shit you're getting. Most of the perks. I mean, the shirts are awesome and everything, and then you get to hang out with us. It's like,
yeah.
I'm like,
well, we have had some people actually turn us down for that. They're like, no,
that ain't my thing. Yeah. I understand. I would consider it deeply before I made a decision on it as well.
If I would have known fucking 3 years ago that we'd eventually be doing a live show, I would have never done this with you guys. I would have been like, fuck it.
Fuck those idiots don't know what the hell's going on.
We ain't doing a live show for all that. Anyway, one of our final girls is here tonight. We're going to bring her in real quick and chat with her a little bit. And then we'll get into the nuts and the bolts of this. But welcome to Lorena. Hello, Lorena.
Look at this.
Hello, dudes.
I mean, she's decked out, and look at this.
She's dressed up the backdrop.
She's got more stuff than I do. That's awesome.
You know what I mean? The lighting's too dark here.
It kind of looks like a floating head, but that's okay.
Her backdrop is better than yours, Colonel.
Huh?
Right now?
Her backdrop is better than yours, Colonel.
That's temporary, though.
Yeah.
Right?
I know. Yes, it's temporary.
There's a method
to the next week. I think we can talk about it next week, maybe.
Next week.
Wait a couple
There
weeks.
we go. There we go.
Okay. There you're a little
There you
bright.
go.
Hey.
All right. How we been, Lorena? How you doing?
Relatively well. How are you guys?
Good.
We
Good.
are.
Relatively well is always the safe way to answer that anymore, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would be lying.
We're in my office right now. I've been here all day.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad we get to keep
Not
you
with
there a little
this,
longer.
but oh
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you teach the students with that in the background? Because if that might be interesting.
yeah. I might end up hearing about that if I try that one. I was tempted today.
We need to talk about your flair, Lorena.
They'd be like, Miss Faze, there's there's like strict rules against cults.
So one time I was asked to teach a class without notice, and it was a video class. And I said, I don't have time to set up. And my supervisor said, well, is that a problem? I said, well, I'm wearing a shirt that says bite me in big letters right here. And like my hair's not done and I don't have my background. And she's like, oh, it'll be okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. So I taught a class with a shirt that said bite me right across here.
That works.
Student didn't say anything. I didn't get in trouble. I still have my job. So
well, you were given a directive. That's what I would have wrote if they would have gave you any flack. It's like fucking.
well, yeah, I had their receipts.
Yes.
I always make sure I have the receipts. If I get bitched at, hey, she said it was okay.
There you go.
Well, of course, with the arrival of Lorena, we did prepare. I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry. My fingers.
I'd like to go on record by saying I had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
Oh, stop it. Sent the files over.
You've always let me know when it's going to happen. So I'm just like, no back
He does-
here.
I will take that information under consideration the rest of this
good.
show.
Great. I open my big mouth.
No, he does tend to telegraph himself quite a bit, which should be a good thing to use. Speaking of telegraphing something, you had something going on.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Did you hear something, Ziggy?
I did.
Did you hear that? I heard that.
I don't know what's going on, but we're going to be checking in with Jack and David throughout the show.
Okay.
Reason given, it's a universal way to get around some things.
Basically, you couldn't run the whole clip all at once, so we got.
I got banned when I ran this clip, but I liked it so much that I was like, "Fuck that!" So there's 6 clips, smaller clip that seems to work. So we're gonna go with that.
God,
6.
All right.
They're
So,
short, Colonel. They're short. They're like 6 seconds long.
Okay.
Lorena, did you get a chance to actually see the latest Scream film?
I did.
All right. Excellent.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
then, you know what?
Maybe.
Yes.
I guess. I suppose. I wanted to like it.
I always want to
I
like them.
wanted to like it.
Sometimes it doesn't work. Were you a fan of the Scream franchise before this one, or?
Well, I'm going to tell you about that in my list.
Okay.
Some yes, some no. The first one, absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't actually see 4 until this last weekend.
Me too.
It's
I
same
think
I
I-
didn't see 3 or 4 till literally Thursday and Friday. So
No,
Yeah, I
3.
think-
Oh,
3 never in a theater, but I saw that was one of the big DVD releases that weekend. And it was right in that whole fucking craze. And yeah, I was just like, holy Scooby-Doo endings, Batman.
that was exactly what I thought. Like, I grew up with Scooby-Doo. Am I not supposed to recognize this?
Right.
Crank.
Yeah, I was not a
Mhm.
fan of 3.
She's setting
Yeah.
me up, man.
Do it.
I'm sorry, there's a mention of Scooby-Doo, and I'm looking right at it. It says Scooby-Doo bats. I'm like, how could I
Let's
not?
see, the cartoon bats don't do it.
Duly noted.
Hey.
Yeah,
Duly
bring 'em
noted.
on. Bring 'em on. It's the real bats. And you know, the thing is, I'm not scared of anything else. Heights and bats, and that's it. Spiders, I would prefer they not jump at my face, but I'm okay with spiders. Obviously, I'm fine with rats.
Yes. This we know. This we know.
You know, there's no big deal.
Which is strange because
Just
rats are bats.
Scare the
Bats are
shit out of
rats.
me. No, they are not.
oh, touching nerves, eggs.
This is a debate we
Quit
can
while
have
you're ahead,
the
dude.
whole show here.
Quit while you're ahead.
Rats are not bats. Not no, especially those like the weird nose bat things. What the hell
Oh
is
well,
that?
yeah. That was a little freaky, but I mean, it's just some gnarly
Yeah.
wings on a rat, though. I mean, I don't know.
No. See, it's the wings. It is absolutely the wings. Because I think Crank had put a video out there with this. It was like a rehab bat. Was that you?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was me.
And I'm an
bat
idiot.
died.
I watched it. And I'm like, when the wings weren't out, I was okay. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then the wings are just good. Fuck you. Oh, okay, no wings.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
all right,
That was the
that's
oldest
fine.
bat on the planet, and he's passed
Was
away
it?
now. That bat has
Oh.
ceased to exist.
Boo.
Yeah,
That we know of, anyway.
He's just
Well,
an old bat trying to relive his youth, trying to fly, and you're like, It's,
Yeah, well.
You may have scared him to death.
It was right. I do scream kind of loud.
Speaking of Scream, that's what we're here,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Sorry to
So,
get sidetracked
Should
by
I
the
jump
bat.
into my list? Are we going to talk about the new one a little
Let's
bit?
talk about the new one. I got a
Okay.
question for all you guys, but I'll start with Lorena. How did you like the opening scene? Did that bring you back into the Scream universe?
You know, actually, I thought that was okay. You know, you got to have a strong opening scene, right? You got to draw people in, and that's one thing that was done really, really well with the first one. You know,
Right.
It was like boom right there. So I thought it was all right. I mean, what were they going to do different, right? Because they just rehashed with 2 and 3.
Well, they
Some-
rehashed a lot with this one too, though. Like every
Yeah,
scene
but
was
I
some kind
hadn't
of
seen
throwback.
that yet. I hadn't seen that yet. We're just talking about the opening scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. Okay, I mean it's kind of cheesy, but so were all of them. You know,
Mm.
so that I was okay with. I really wanted to like this. This was the same director as Ready or Not, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the same directing
I love
team as
Ready or
Ready or
Not.
Not. And one of the writers also, I believe.
I loved Ready or Not. I'm like,
Yeah, Ready or
you
Not was
know,
good.
this could be cool. Yeah, it was not.
Ziggy, was the opening scene for you a nice throwback to the original but also elevating it a little bit by adding the new technology?
With the Scream franchise, this is a formula they've kept in every single movie in one way or another with that crazy opening scene. And in 2, it was, Stab. There was the beginning of Stab, the movie, that whole
Yeah,
start.
that I like too.
Right.
The rest
And boy,
of
it
the
got
movie not
crazy
important.
with this last one. The mentions of Stab and then going to the real universe. That was a little bit like, hold on a second. I had to back up and think, I would have paused that fucker a couple of times just to catch up today watching that. But you can put it together. But yeah, these opening scenes, they have to have them. And out of all of them, it was good because I liked the dissing of she was all into the modern kind of horror, like the Ari Aster
Yeah.
shit, and the Midsummer and all that. It was mentioned well. So that's good writing. I dig that. That's showing you're a fan of the genre. That was cool. I dug it. So that's this opening scene. Yes, I guess the only difference is our victim survives, which kind of sets off the whole chain of events anyway. So,
Spoiler alert.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil. We're gonna spoil.
There's
There's
gonna
no
be
way
spoilers.
the whole movie.
Yeah, but you
is
gotta say
fucking
spoiler
spoiled.
alert first, Ed. Come
That's
on,
right.
Dick.
Hey, if you've seen any Scream, you've already seen it. Okay? So don't worry about the
There's
spoilers.
one part in particular, but okay.
Right.
Colonel, did you especially like the mentions of elevated horror, and even did you like Ghostface's ignorance or apathetic attitude about it?
I fucking loved it because I'm not going to lie. As soon as I walked out of the movie theater, I didn't say shit about this movie other than one thing. It was so nice seeing that they put Red Crank in a fucking movie with her list of favorites. It sounded like Crank talking to me and Zach every fucking Monday.
Yep.
I was like, I love this shit. Like, it was good. I thought that it was a great way of tying the classic horror in with the modern horror with all these mentions and really setting the pace for what this movie was ultimately at the end. So it did its job. I liked it. But man, I loved once you started listing It Follows and especially Hereditary, I was like, oh, that's fucking great.
Midsummer.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Yes.
Asshole.
I know.
Indeed. Not even me.
Damn it, Colonel.
Yeah.
I like that scene too. I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't necessarily equate it to me, but then I saw your text message the next day, and I was like, "Son of a bitch, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that all Monday, aren't I?" Yep. Okay. Fair enough. No, I thought the opening scene was clever. Like Ziggy said, you can't have a Scream movie without an opening scene like this. It'd be like a James Bond movie just starting at M's office and nothing's going on. They're just talking or something. No, you got to have that big action scene at the top. That's how it works. Do you guys think they handled the inclusion and the introduction of the legacy characters well? Ziggy, I'll start with you.
I felt in this, this is probably one of the worst uses of legacy characters because it feels like cameos a lot for most of them. Yeah, I mean, now granted, as it gets further down, closer to the end, they're in it a little bit more. But I understand why they got him back in there again and why Sidney felt compelled to come back again. But it just, well, yes, of course, the money at the root of it. But I mean, they're clearly trying to hand it off to a younger set of people, here. And but it's okay. It's cool seeing them again. I love that shit. I love seeing these 25, 40-year-old stories retold with those people. And it's nice to see them again. But yeah, they don't really, oh man, and if some of them get taken out, no big deal.
See, I thought they handled these a lot better than they handled the legacy characters in Halloween Kills.
Yes.
You're going to compare it to that.
Yeah. You said that was the worst. I'm like, the Halloween Kills.
One of the worst.
Fucking worst.
Halloween Kills was clearly the worst when it came, in my opinion,
I think Michael Hall will never live this down.
Colonel, what about you? Did you like how they introduced them and brought them into this movie?
Yes and no. I really don't have a problem with the way they were brought in. Bringing Dewey in made the most sense out of the three. I know this ain't what you're asking, but I won't say it any fucking way. I felt all three of their acting was like fucking subpar. It just felt bad, especially Courtney Cox. She was fucking awful.
Gail Weathers, yeah, Courtney Cox and Gail Weathers were phoning it in pretty much. But also, not to necessarily knock her, but it's hard to emote when you've got so much work that's been done to your face as well.
She's had some work done, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
her face looked Scream 1, but her hands looked Scream 7. I was like, keep her giving her a fucking bear hug there. I was like, what the hell?
Ooh.
Ain't none of us getting younger.
Nothing's wrong with that.
But cover it up. At least hide your hands. Like those are dead giveaways.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that, but it is hard to do that with. What about you, Lorena? Were the introductions of them good for you, and did you feel like they handled the characters well?
It felt forced for the most part.
Forced.
You know,
yeah.
You're gonna have to bring them back, right? So
pretty much.
I think, well, it felt to me like, okay, we made the decision to bring them back. Now let's figure out how to do it rather than the other way around, you know?
It's almost like they were surprised that they agreed to it or something. They're like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what?
Let's
Now we got
wedge them in here.
Yeah.
And yeah, in 4 and 5, Courtney Cox had work done. So it is kind of hard to express.
Yeah.
With that, and I've seen worse. I have definitely seen worse. Dewey's mustache in 3 was worse.
That's true.
Oh, here's a side question.
Thing on his face.
Here you go, Lorena. Here's a side question off that. What was worse in 3? Dewey's mustache or Gail's haircut?
Or her hair.
Her hair was fucking awful.
That's a tough one.
That's all I can look at every time she's on screen.
Mustaches grow out more quickly, right, than hair. So I'll go with her hair.
Yeah.
Her hair was so bad. It's like, are we trying to make these people look terrible? I mean, the whole thing with those two anyway, all through it. I mean, it was cute in the first one. I could tolerate that. But then, like, the whole damn thing is they're back together and then they're fighting. They're apart and they're together and they're apart. I know what happens. I mean, I've been dating Andy on and off for 16 years. But I don't make people experience that. It's a little too much through most of them. And he looked relieved in the part that I'm not going to spoil quite yet. He looked relieved to me. Like, finally, I don't have to deal with this bitch anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah, we are going to get into that because there's a lot in that scene that happens that is kind of badly done. I want to mention Orlando says the opening was good. I like the back and forth struggle between Jenny Ortega and Ghostface, especially how he broke her leg. Yeah, Ghostface was a little more brutal in this one. There were a couple of moments of more than just typical stabbing. Yeah, multiple stabbings this time. Breaking the leg, the shot where the knife goes through the neck and then out the backside.
That was great. I love that.
That was good.
But am I the only one watching this thinking, oh, okay, they gave Ghostface the Michael Myers treatment. Let's make it more
brutal
and gory.
More brutal.
Which I appreciated. I'm not bitching.
Probably.
I think overall, Scream is always there's always one entrails scene in most of the Scream movies, and there's plenty of blood. So, I mean, I've never had a problem with that. I mean, they kept it to slasher, but it's 3 is where they went to that kind of stupid, kind of slapstick almost shit in there. And it didn't have that edge anymore like 1 and 2 did. But
you almost wanted that music that they use in the with the cops in the background of Halloween 5 every time the cops walked up. Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the music for Scream 3. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll come up later.
The thing I liked about the introductions of the legacy characters was I thought Gail's intro was the most believable, being the host of a smaller market kind of morning talk show, like, you know, a Today Show or a CBS This Morning kind of program, something like that. I could buy that. But man, I thought they just kind of pissed away Dewey's introduction. What is he? A washed up cop that's, you know, retired now,
Well,
and
he's
down on his luck
pining
and
away from
drinking.
Gail because we got to keep that bullshit going forever, apparently.
Well, sure, but yeah, it just seemed super cliche to me.
And they show
And
him
then-
watching her, and they smile, and there's like booze bottles around. Come on.
Yeah. Well, and the box with Tatum's ashes that was in there. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Oh, yeah, and the little gold plate with her name on it, too. I like that, you know?
Yeah.
That I could buy, but they had him very obviously just pining for Gail.
Yeah.
It just, to me, I just took it as he was broke. You know, he had enough. He had to, you know, they asked him to step down from sheriff, and he was just like, "Yeah, I got nothing, man. So I'm just gonna, you know, I got these stab wounds."
Yeah, but speaking of, I'm gonna take it back a little bit to Tatum's ashes. Come on, it's not like they can have a fucking open casket. What else was they gonna do? Seriously,
Right.
No.
no. Yeah.
Good God, Colonel.
What the hell was the matter with you anyway?
My therapist is still trying to figure it out. We don't fucking know.
Jeez, how many Bueller drops do you have now?
Oh, a few.
Probably just those. The one other thing I want to bring up about the introductions, when they bring in Sidney Prescott and Dewey asks her, "Do you have a gun?" and she says, "I'm Sidney fucking Prescott. Of course I have a gun." Now wait a minute. She's never had a gun in any of the other fucking sequels. She's picked them up along the way. It's not like she just comes in packing. She picks them up along the way. So that line makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. Am I wrong, Colonel?
That's the point.
That line was super fucking cheesy, and I guess it makes sense for the character as the years go on. But to be fair, in 3, she was packing at one point.
Was she?
Remember, but she didn't like show up in day 1 like full blown.
But she got it like along the way, not like she left her house and stuck it in her purse. She got it along the way.
True.
But she did have kids. You know, she had. Oh, there's a spoiler. She did have kids in this one. That would do it for me. I gotta say.
That would make you start packing a gun.
Yeah, especially with my kids.
I could see that. Ziggy, what do you think of that?
Yeah, man. I mean, Sydney, I was kind of, you know, they did the big, like, panning on the back of her head, and then she, you know, you weren't quite sure if it's Gail or her and stuff. She turns around, "Hey, Sydney." Oh, and everyone's, you know.
Oh, you knew who it was.
You knew who it was.
Body shape, man.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, of course, they waited longer than I thought they would to bring her in, really, you know, to really get her going. So, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I knew that at some point she was going to come in and take it over to some degree to be the hero, or at least part of the assist to the heroes and stuff. But, you know.
Yeah. But let's be honest, man. That line was so cheesy, it made me want to go to Pizza Hut and get a stuffed crust pizza. It was that bad. It was bad.
Nah, dude, you're making me hungry. Don't bring this shit up. All right, let me hit a couple of comments here real quick. Scary's review says 5 offers nothing new, nor is it different from the others. My script for a 6th is new and different. Check it out.
Yes.
I'd love to check it out, Scary. Email it over if you don't mind, or register it first though.
Yes.
Make sure it's registered, because I don't want to see anything that's not copywritten in some way. But I'd love to check it out. Luke says, "I thought Roger Jackson had some good lines in this one." Yes, the voice of Ghostface. I can't believe that not only have they kept, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, consistently in these movies, but they've also kept the guy that does the voice, Roger Jackson. Did you like his performance in this one, Lorena?
I did like that they kept the voice the same. I think that's important. The voice, the mask, Trying to remember. I mean, I only saw it once, and my hearing is not good, so I did miss some things in there. A lot of it was rehashed again, wasn't it? Like they tried to recreate some stuff, as I recall, and not very well.
Yeah, there were a lot of throwbacks or homages
Yeah.
to other scenes.
I swear, every fucking movie. I'll catch you like a fish. Like every fucking movie. Was
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a cool voice though. But yeah.
Yes. It just didn't have the same tension as the first one. I don't think there was any in well, yeah. It just and that was the big part of the voice. And that's another thing I hated about 3. It's that it helped ramp up that tension, that it was like the generic evil voice. And he had these lines like right and to go back to the opening of number 1, can you handle that, Blondie?
Right.
Or I want to know who I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It just didn't have that. And for what was supposed to be a requel, apparently.
Yeah.
You got to try a little harder. You got to try a little harder than that, I think.
All right. Luke says, I actually thought David Arquette's acting was the best in this one than the rest of them. I would agree with that. I thought he did a pretty good job in this. And Carrie says, Courtney should have left her face alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to each their own. To each their own.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of pressure.
Right.
In Hollywood. Not here.
Okay, now some of these guys are talking about Kenny Rogers and hair and mustache and yeah. All right, I'll come back to the comments then, I guess. Colonel, let's start with you on this one. How did you like the new characters? Because they spent a lot of time on them, a lot more time on them than the legacy characters. I think hoping to make us care about them more.
Yeah, they did spend a lot of time on them, but did they make me care? No, because I really felt like they didn't give us a chance. It was just very hard. Okay, it's like, so Wes, for one, you're going to name after fucking Wes Craven. I was like,
boom.
But man, did it not look like a bird shitting his hair and he tried to comb it out? That was fucking awesome.
I think that's called fashion, or
no, that took me back to my fucking sophomore year in high school in 2000. Okay. With the frosted tips. No one's done that shit. But like it just, you had your group, your clique, that was the same as every other group and clique and all the other fucking Scream movies. Yes, I guess you say I had a little more diversity, which I appreciate because, again, it didn't feel forced. It was very natural feeling the group. But it's like, okay, you had your character knew all about the movies. You had your jock. It just spent a lot of time on them, but I just didn't fucking care.
Well, and the character that knew all about the movies ended up being Randy's niece.
Yeah.
Shocker. I know, right? Was it believable that the friends were all children of the original cast members or past cast members even?
Not at all. Except for apparently nobody other than fucking Gail and Sydney leaves fucking Woodsboro. So
I do know a lot of people from my small town where I grew up have never left.
Same here.
So
yeah,
so
but still,
everybody's related to everybody else too.
Yep, and their kids are friends with the ones that ran together in high school are still friends with.
Yeah, but let's be honest, I can't answer for everybody. Do people really like people enough to want to do that? Fuck, I don't. You know, I mean, people I literally talk to from my childhood and adolescence.
It's a small town kind of thing, though. I mean, where I grew up, it wasn't even that far from the capital, and I'm closer now. But people were very sheltered, didn't really want to know anything else, didn't really want to go outside that area. And a lot of them were still there. It's not like I got real far myself, but I that was within the realm of believability for me.
Okay. Ziggy, what about you? Did you like the new characters and how they were all kind of related in a way.
Yeah, I it worked. They achieved that. They accomplished what they wanted with it. I liked how some of them did know the history of the town, and oh yeah, every 10 years someone this comes back again. That's cool. I liked it how they did that. I liked her knowledge of even their descriptions of sequels and all that shit when they were trying to explain what's going on and why everyone is a suspect now. I mean, it was the most accusations and red herrings going around in probably any of the Screams. I think this one. I mean, it's all they
There were a
fucking
lot.
did. Yeah.
There were a lot in this one. And since Colonel brought it up, I want to mention this. The character of Wes, come on. There's got to be a better way to pay tribute to Wes Craven than have a character intentionally named Wes that gets, spoiler, killed off. So at a later party, they can be doing a toast, doing shots and saying, "For Wes!" That just seemed like such a cheap trick to me. Am I wrong about that? Lorena this time.
No, I gotta agree. Again,
No.
it was forced. Oh, who are you gonna call Wes so we can do this? This is what we want to do. So let's stick the character in here.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. I may be a little too. I'm gonna have to watch this again when it comes out on streaming. Just to see if maybe I wasn't too rough on it. Maybe not rough enough. But yeah, there's a lot I didn't like here, and that was definitely part of it. Absolutely pay tribute to Wes, but that's not that way.
Yeah, I agree. See, to be fair, at least they gave him one of the better kills in the movie. But I think if you really wanted to pay tribute to Wes, he should have been one. Spoiler, we always say he dies. He should have been one of the killers. Come on, Wes Craven, master of one of the masters of horror. He should have been a fucking killer.
Would that have been too much though? We'd still be bitching about it though. I think if that had happened.
Well, I'd be bitching
like
if they did that, but I'd still be bitching about his shitty fucking hair. I'm sorry, man. I'd pay more attention to that. And I did this fucking character. Oh, look, Mama's boy. Look, dude, we gotta do something with that fucking hair, man.
And Sheriff Hicks or was Deputy Hicks in part 4, so it was kind of neat bringing her back. Yeah, and the Lemon Squares joke was funny.
Right.
I thought
that was cute. Yes,
that was a cute throwback. Ziggy, anything more about Wes? And do you like Colonel's idea more of having him be a killer? We'd still be knocking that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it makes sense a little bit. I mean, because the way they red herringed him was like okay. But was she not a suspect in 4? Yeah,
definitely. That's why she was there.
Yeah, and so you knew some people had to get clipped. So that was why not? Sure, why the fuck not bring her back and get her? Wes. The best thing about him was his kill. And I love the Psycho reference. Some of the shots from the shower were cool. That was cool.
Yeah, I did. I like that too.
But
I think they overall did a good job of the paying tribute.
The whole scene where they're opening the fridge and then opening the pantry door and letting it hover there for a minute.
Yeah.
That was hokey, I thought.
Yeah.
How many times they're gonna do it? And then it's gonna really be him. But then no, they had one of the twins down there doing it. So
yeah. Somebody brought up a good point. I did notice this during the conversation where they introduced Sydney. Sydney says she's married to someone named Mark, which I assume is Detective Mark from part 3. And somebody brings up, Carrie says she is married to someone who carries a gun. So maybe now that would be more. And even John says the same thing. Sydney was married to the cop from part 3. Having a gun wouldn't be weird.
Yes.
It is weird because of the historical nature of the films. They haven't established that, after the events of part 1, I would think she would start carrying a gun. You know, when do they establish that? They don't really. So that's why I bring it up as it being somewhat annoying that she's like, well, of course I have a gun. You know, do you? Because you've just picked up the killers along the way most of the time. And then Shori Mori wants to know, I would have a gun, especially with my kids. What does that mean? But,
That's my daughter.
right. I'm aware. I will let you two hash that out.
Well, I'm letting everybody know. That's my daughter.
Raymond says, can't say that I was disappointed in this film, but only because I wasn't expecting much. All right.
I tried to do that, and I'm sorry, man. When it got to the crescendo at the end there, I can't wait to get into that because I've been pissed about that ever since I walked out of that theater.
I'm just saying, Zach's reaction now is how I was going into the movie. Like, this is not something I wanted to fucking see.
I was happy with it. Like the first 2/3 of the movie, I went, okay, this could actually be a contender for top 3, perhaps, if it keeps going, and maybe higher if it does something cool at the end. No.
All right. Luke says, I agree that the West thing was forced and cheap. Yeah, I mean, there's not many other ways to look at that, but that's just me. Raymond asked, do you think Wes was Dewey's son? No, not at all. I don't know why, but no.
He wouldn't have cheated on Gail. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Okay, the Scream films are famous for their meta approach to filmmaking, allowing characters to comment on the status of horror in the present times while also serving as examples in the story. Did the meta elements in this film, Colonel, such as Tara's preference for elevated horror and Mindy's requel monologue, work for you? Start with Colonel.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I always start that off, I guess, because you can tell I just really don't fucking care. But I did think they did a good job setting up the current state in horror. I really think they did. I did appreciate that. And again, I appreciated the throwbacks to all the classic horror films. It was a nice mix. I will say, you know, I don't want to say if I was 12, because, you know, I was already ingrained with fucking horror by the time I was 12, which we'll get to that later when we do our rankings. You know, not a lot of people are, especially this generation. Everything's available at their fingertips, so people might get to it late, whatever. But I think it's good for the next generation of horror fans. I could see why they're going to love this, because a lot of them are into Hereditary. You know, Jordan Peele's cool. Like this is this generation's horror. This is what I thought it was a good way to bring that generation, that like-minded people, into something a little more with a classic feel.
I like that.
You agree with him on that?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's been a paradigm shift in horror, and the thing is, Scream, when it showed up in 1996, kind of gave a shot in the arm to the slasher, and it was nice to have it back because everybody had been fucking it up for years before that one came out. So I was happy to see a slasher, a true slasher again, and even though it was a little smarter and a little, uppity for a slasher, it was still a fucking slasher. And that is something that, even though it's been tapering off as the Screams have continued, as I spill my pop all over the place,
Right.
it's definitely, it's still there, but it's definitely waning now. Like that. I feel like it can't come back this time again. There's no way it'll ever get back to even what it was in 96. So it's sad to me.
Do you need a moment to towel off?
No, I had the cap on, thankfully, but
Oh, okay. Just checking. What about you, Lorena? Did you like the meta elements of this film compared to the past?
Compared to the past, sure. It was going to be. It had to be, right? That's the only way they could do it. Not sure about the whole requel thing.
I thought that was spot on.
It was.
I mean, because they're basically describing exactly what they're doing in the film.
I'd never heard that term before somehow, so I had to process that.
I'm sure they would love to hear that, you know. They thought they were so fucking clever coming up with that little term.
Right. We've talked about requels and
sure,
and even what was the other term we used? Sea boots or something like that. Something stupid.
Maybe I blocked it out. So it's really just a question of how well they do it. There were things that I did like in here, and I think they did okay. They did. Somebody was saying that you couldn't really connect with the new characters, the kids, you know, and I gotta agree there. But I am not a kid anymore either. Actually, these kids are younger than my kids.
Yeah.
Now I've gotten to that point in my life, so I'm okay with not connecting there. I did appreciate. Well, people were saying that this is woke, right?
I don't think it's as woke as many other films that have come out lately, but
no.
I was gonna say people are really sheltered then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you include more than one person of color in a movie anymore, it's woke. According to some people,
being a lesbian.
Yeah, you had a gay lesbian makeout scene, so.
Oh, yeah, for like a minute and a half. I mean, it was a makeout scene.
Yeah.
I mean, so
the straight sex was turned down just because it was deemed too dangerous. Like, no, I'm not sure if you're the killer or not, so I don't want to go sleep with you right now.
Yeah, like that.
The whole woke thing, though, it was way tuned down. The volume on it for this movie compared to, you're right, some of the other shit we've seen.
Well, I like in the movie they even pointed out when they mentioned that they're like, yeah, but it's, so it's not as far in your face as some movies, and the movie that shall not be named was brought up, which I was like,
it sure was.
Yep.
In my seat.
Fuck that. In my mind, it always goes to 74, so I don't even consider it.
Right. Right. BK wants to know, how do you still have this job? The Colonel just does not care.
No, the Colonel's very honest.
Yeah,
that's why I
it's
still have my job.
situational. Just been the last couple of weeks, right? You'll care again.
I will. I care more about this than I did fucking 89. I'll tell you that. That's rough.
I thought they handled the meta elements in this pretty well. And because they didn't push a whole lot of woke, but they were it was a satire on it, you know? And that's one of the things that has always been different about the Scream films that I can appreciate, even though I don't necessarily like these movies as much as a lot of people do. But that's just me. But we got to talk about a couple of spoilers here. And first one I want to bring up is Sam and her connection as, by the way, spoilers, if you have not seen this, stop watching now.
Yeah, this is big.
There goes one.
There goes one.
I want to talk about Sam, basically one of the lead characters' connection as Billy Loomis's illegitimate daughter. Now, this is introduced fairly early in the film, and then her mental illness that she has, which they do spend a little bit of time on talking about mental illness in this film. It manifests as hallucinations of Billy. Now, it's, de-aged video and computer-generated stuff, but it kind of works.
They did a pretty good job with it. I bought it.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was actually him till towards the end of the movie. I did not think that looked great. They did a better job de-aging Mark Hamill in The Mandalorian than they did Billy Loomis. I'm sorry. I thought at first he looked like shit. I was like, man, they could have got someone look a little bit more like him to play this character. Then eventually I was like, wait a minute.
Disney has a little bit more money for that kind of shit, though, too. And the studio that did The Mandalorian invented CGI. So.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do this, make sure you do it fucking right, man. He looked fucking fake as hell. It did not look like, it just didn't look like Skeet at all.
All right.
Was that an adequate way, though? Ziggy, I'll start with you on this. Was that an adequate way to talk about Sam's mental illness and continuing to move the story forward with the hallucinations? Or, again, was that just another cheap trick?
No. It was the first couple of times this happens, I'm in. I'm okay with it. Later on, when it happens, I've got extreme issues. This is what destroyed the movie for me. I'll say it. I'm saying it. I'm going to say it right now. We'll get in deep to it. She sees these reflections of her dad in the mirror, in the driver mirror, and she's in a house, and he's giving her tips like just embrace who you are, kind of shit. At the very end, when it's all going down, the killers are stalking Sam. She glances up the fucking mirror, and there's Billy kind of going like, and then they pan over where he's looking. There's a knife behind the curtain.
Oh,
and she pulls the knife and she dispatches the killer and defeats him.
And psychotically,
psychotically
she does. She snaps.
She takes him out.
It's not like just an act of self-defense, like,
No.
like get the fuck out of here. You know, it's
she
not.
embraces who she is, but in the reflection in the mirror is a proud Billy Loomis just looking on with pride, just at that work she's doing. Oh man, this movie dropped 3 points right there at that second for me.
That was rough. That
God
was
damn. But at the beginning of it, when this first happens, I'm like, okay, I kind of into this. I'm into this. This is all right.
It looks like Colonel disagrees.
I disagree completely. I thought it was the dumbest way to introduce her character being tied into this. 2 reasons. Let's go back to the first one. All right, obviously, Billy and Stu want to fucking kill. Here we go. Mainly because Billy's mom took off. Whatever, that's established. But it's also established that he wasn't fucking laying down some pipe for like over a year. Do I find it believable that he would have cheated on Sydney? Yes. But at the same time, they even said that's the reason why he killed. If he was throwing down pipe, he probably wouldn't have went through all the trouble killing all those fucking people. So that's why I did not find it believable. I was like, this was just fucking lazy.
Wow.
There you go. On top of that, Colonel, I want to add, do the math also, because this is supposed to take place 25 years after those events, right?
You're right. She was 23 at best, wasn't she?
Yeah, because it stated she left 5 years ago, the day she turned 18. So she'd only be 23 when it's 25. Was the woman pregnant for like 2.5 years?
It's possible. She could have been an elephant. You never know.
Perhaps we discovered a plot hole.
I'm going to nitpick the shit out of this if they do the math wrong. Lorena, what did you think of the Billy Loomis appearances?
My first thought was True Romance. Have you seen True Romance? Yes.
Elvis?
Yes. Like somebody saw True Romance and now they want to stick somebody in a mirror.
I didn't even think of that.
That's immediately what it reminded me of. And especially that last scene where and also they had Sydney hallucinating in 3 and maybe even 2. And I did just watch these, but they kind of blended together. But they, at least in 3, they had Sydney hallucinating as well. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it then. I didn't like it in this one. It just seemed like, okay, all of a sudden she's hallucinating. She's Looney Tunes. Yeah. I get what they were trying to do. I think a lot of things could have been done better. And no, I couldn't do them myself, but I'm not the one making films and charging people for them either.
Right.
You know?
I thought it was very almost too simplistic of a way to do it. I appreciate the fact they brought Skeet Ulrich back to kind of do this role again, but I thought it was just too cheap of a way to do it. So,
I said the first couple glimpses you get of him, cool. The shit
Yeah.
at the end, stick it up your fucking ass because that sucked.
That was bad. Yes. I need to not correct something, but explain something a little bit more, I guess, because when I was talking about, if there's more than one person of color in a movie, it's woke. I was talking about other YouTubers and other reviewers talking about movies that way, because Shori Mori says if it's not exclusively white cis men and maybe one woman who's a whore, it's woke. No,
that's my daughter.
No, right. I'm aware. But
she's very obviously my kid.
What I was saying was a lot of other people consider that woke horror. You will have angry comments on social media, especially about, well, I didn't like it because it was too woke. Well, what was so woke about it? Well, lesbian in the main cast and a black guy. Oh, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's people now. That's
an unattractive lesbian. They're fine with hot lesbians,
Yeah. See. Well, if we're going back to that subject, you got to tell me about what you think of its wokeness. I didn't pick up any of its wokeness because, like I said, they did a great job of normalizing it. That, like you said, that's life.
Right.
That's normal. Yeah. It doesn't.
Right.
Why people bitch about that, I don't fucking understand.
I mean, most of the 20-something-year-old people now that I know are sexually fluid or whatever you want to. I don't know the terminology. I really don't. They're bi. They're experimental.
I believe it's pansexual is the thing.
Pansexual. They're in open relationships. They're in polyamorous relationships. Things like that. I don't get it personally because I'm in my 40s. It's just not something I ever mess around with or feel a desire to. That doesn't mean I don't give I'm going to hold it against them for doing it. But most of the people in their 20s now, which this film is directed to, are like that. So if it's going to include a mixture of those kind of characters, I don't give a fuck. Cool.
It should.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, before we move on.
Shori was saying she was being sarcastic over my sarcasm. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I cleared that up because I wasn't sure if I had expressed my sarcasm about that as much as I felt.
We need to color code this shit.
You would know.
Before we continue this riveting discussion, we should check back in with Dave and
Jack.
Yes, Jack, of course. So let's see what they're up to.
I vote we go back to the slaughtered lamb.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like where this is going.
I know exactly where this is going.
Walking along the moors. Wait, can I even say moors?
You might be able to say moors. I think I cut that part out though. So.
All right.
Universal.
Let's get into another spoiler. We talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Who was going to go down from the main three? Dewey goes down fighting. So was this the right way to go for the series, eliminating him? Lorena.
And seriously, he looked relieved to like, finally, I don't have to do this shit anymore. And there was no way he was going to survive. It was gutted very well.
Mm-hmm. Front and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was bled well.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Was that the right way to go for the series?
Oh, the right way. Yeah. Dewey, I mean, from the get-go, they have Dewey as a pathetic character. And I liked his acting in this too. He was more Michael Madsen to me in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I liked. And so yeah, they he's pathetic, he's washed up. He's pining for Gail for some fucking reason. Gail has her show. Sydney's married. She's got kids. They can't take them out.
Okay.
So yeah, I was okay with it.
Ziggy, you and I were the two that said Dewey would probably be the one to go. You also said Gail might be one that went. I would have been okay if they took both Dewey and Gail, honestly. But what do you think of the way they did that?
I honestly, I didn't really like it when he said, "Wait a minute, got to put one in the head." They always get up. It's kind of like, you knew that he was going to take it right there, and
that was his "I'll be right back" moment.
Oh, yeah.
But his character over this journey of 5 movies went full circle, and that was cool. So I don't think there's anything else he really could have done with it. So let's go. It's time.
Well, and Lorena brought something up. That his character was pretty pathetic, especially in the first one. But I will say, as the movies went on, his character is probably the one that progressed the most over all of them. And I'll say that even over Sydney, because Sydney pretty much stayed the same. She shows up in the first movie.
She was pretty kick-ass from the beginning, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, she learned. She didn't learn. She just grabbed on to that being kick-ass, and pretty quick. Now she had her moments of, I'm a victim in all the movies, but it snapped out real quick. But Dewey, every movie he got a little stronger. Every single movie he got a little tougher. Internally, I think.
Full circle.
And I think that helped.
And it was crushing him too, though. I think that was their point in the last one, that it really kind of crushed his spirit too. I think that's what they were going for there. So yeah, I was pretty sure that from that first scene with him lying on the couch and watching it, like, yeah, he's going to be the one.
Yeah. Colonel, did you spot that coming in when? And did you like the way they handled his death?
It was very obvious. Like you said, when his time came, his death was great. I even liked how they had Ghostface say it was an honor.
Yeah,
it
was to him. It was to him because a lot of people thought it was directed towards Sydney based on
the trailer. It is, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So I really dug that. I agree with you on all your points about Dewey. He did get stronger after every movie. I couldn't say that I was sad or really cared that he died, but the character met a very fitting end. That was perfect for him.
I will say, for Officer Dewey, thank you for your service.
He wasn't even supposed to live after the first one. He was supposed to die in the first one, but Wes saw a moment where he was just like, you know what? Let's do a take where you give him a thumbs up on the way out. We may use it. On the stretcher.
And then we can stretch out that stupid romance for the next
exactly
5 fucking movies.
That's exactly why.
It's that whole opposite attract thing, and the whole everyone's got a chance, even the loser. You know how it is. That's why it was there.
Would you guys have preferred if a different OG character would have gotten it, like Gail or even Sydney? Would that have upped the stakes of this movie for you if Sydney would have died in the first act or second act? Ziggy? Or no, Colonel?
No, I would say I would have been okay if all 3 of them died, to be honest with you. I really could have, even Sydney. Here's a spoiler alert. I know I'm jumping way ahead, but I'm going like way, way, way to the end of the fucking movie here. Am I the only one that I thought was fucking hilarious? All these people on gurneys and being cared for. Gail shot again in the stomach, which is pretty much a death sentence. Sydney stabbed again in the stomach, but they're just chilling with fucking blankets like.
Yeah, what was that? She was gunshot, and she's got a blanket around her shoulders.
Those medical blankets are there's like that they're lined with copper. And I don't know if you guys know the medical healing factors of copper, but yeah.
It's a natural coagulant.
Fucking shot in the gut, man.
It's a natural coagulant.
Just, yeah. There's a lot of screaming in hospitals and banging around throughout all of them, too. And that does not When I was in labor with Chris, I won't go into detail, but I screamed so loud they told me I should keep it down. I was scaring the other women who were in labor.
You should be scaring them.
You don't. Yeah, and I won't repeat what I said to the nurse who told me that. But you don't make noise like that in a hospital without it going unnoticed. With it going unnoticed. I think I said that wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah. I agree.
And which was the one? See, I was gonna mix them up. It was 5, I think. Yes, and she's okay. She's in the. Well, I should probably go off on this till I do my list.
Go ahead.
The little sister, with the leg.
Yeah.
She's going out to the. She's trying to get out of there because the lights go off, and the only person there is a dying security guard. Everybody else was kidnapped by aliens. The fuck are they?
Even my 12-year-old looked at me and was like, "This ain't real." With hospital, I know.
I felt a little Halloween 2 homage, kind of,
That was a dream. If what you're talking about, the beginning. Halloween
281.
You're talking about
1981.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
the whole
Rob
hospital's
Zombies.
kind of fucking. There's one doctor, there's 2 nurses, and a couple of ambulance drivers, and the whole fucking thing.
Back then, we were just a bunch of dumb kids. We accepted anything.
Brought it.
Boom.
And the doctor was drunk. He was just coming back from a party. Hey.
Dr. Mixter.
Yeah, people could
That's
smoke
right.
in hospitals back then. Anything could happen,
That's true. Luke says they needed to kill an OG. Part 3 and 4 was so predictable because they didn't. At least Scream 2 had some balls and took down Randy. I can go along with that because, well, 3 and 4 were not great films. But, the fact that they did take one of the OGs, as we are calling them now for some reason, that made it more, I don't know, fulfilling, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Anyway. Okay. The killer, or should I say killers?
Killers.
We get the killers revealed, and it turns out to be, spoiler alert, Richie and Amber, who are reviving the Ghostface killings as a way to inspire better movies in the Stab franchise.
Yeah.
Now, is that an appropriate reasoning for going out and slaughtering teenagers that you sort of know?
It's not an appropriate reason to make another movie,
Lorena,
on it. I hated that.
Well, that didn't work for you at all?
I didn't hate it the most out of all of them, as far as the premise goes for why they were killing. I may end up hating it the most on a rewatch. That was so stupid. We love the movie so. Am I loud? We love the movie so much that we had to start killing people so they make better movies, because they made so many of these Stab movies that they got really shitty. So now we gotta bring them back. We gotta give them more material so they can make good movies. Not this movie that we're in.
They even kind of slam Rian Johnson from I can't. Did he do Last Jedi or one of the Star Wars requels? And they kind of slam him. They say, yeah, he directed one of the Stabs, and it was the worst one because Ghostface had like a metallic mask and sleeveless shirt and was running around with a flamethrower. I was like, man,
did it. Sorry.
Yeah, that was kind of meta right there. I thought, definitely. But
Yeah,
Colonel,
absolutely.
what did you think of the reveal?
I thought the reveal was terrible, and the reason for it was terrible, even though I kind of agreed with it to an extent. The only thing that I agreed with is that the horror community is very toxic. So I agreed with him there. But yeah, that was just awful. Especially, I pretty much nailed who the killers were. I thought they wrote it out in fucking crayon for you and said, "Here you go."
They really did.
They did. So I wasn't shocked. The only thing I was shocked, and I noticed Luke says in the comments, so give credit where credit is due. Great minds think alike. I was like, how the hell is that little girl going to fill out a fucking Ghostface costume? Because she's probably, what, 5'5" at best? Yeah.
There you go.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, that's fucking terrible.
Well, I like the way
They
he
never
puts it,
cared
though.
about that.
How are these short fucks in Ghostface costumes that are around 6'5" tall?
Exactly. But yeah, I agreed with him on the toxic nature of the horror community, not as a whole, but especially online. Like anything online, you can't have a different opinion. You're just wrong, or you're an asshole, etc., etc. But I'm with Raina too. Like, seriously, that's why you're going to kill these people again. It felt like lazy fucking writing at points.
Was it lazy writing, or was it just expanded satire?
It could be. Honestly, it could have been both. I mean, it goes both ways on that. But if you're going to do expanded satire, at least put some intelligence behind it.
Thank you.
That if I'm watching, these expanded horror movies, as they were calling them, I expect a level of fucking intelligence. I take those and I compare them to British comedy. You gotta be a little smart to get it. That's where your stab movies and your Friday 13th movies, you can be done with a fucking bucket of rocks and enjoy them. So if you're going to do that, at least don't write it in fucking crayon. That's all I ask. Let me figure it out.
Colonel's been watching his Benny Hill reruns lately.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Listen,
But go on.
you mentioned the British, but you're. I think the statement itself, the explanation itself is a slap to current modern filmmaking in horror. That's what it was. I mean, I took it as that, and
the motive was a slap at the toxic fandom and people who are elitist.
Okay, this is what I'm saying, and what we had here is, the more they talked and then gave their explanation of why they were doing it and how this will make a good horror film and this is our gift to the fans, I was like, I started chuckling. I was like, we've said this exact shit on our DCS stuff, the three of us. So, I mean, I was like, God damn, man, how close are we to, it's just funny that some of the shit we said is their motive for murder and shit. So, I mean, I got a kick out of that, actually. So, but I think it was just a big fucking slap to modern filmmakers of at least slashers and stuff like that. So that's what I took.
There's never been 3 killers in a Scream movie.
True.
Maybe we have a chance. I think it was their attempt at satire, but it felt rushed and a little bit of lazy writing, like Colonel said. I get the toxic fandom thing, and like Ziggy said, yeah, we've said some of the same shit, where we'll watch a movie and we're like, get the fuck out of here, they'd never do that, nah. And in this movie they did kind of go there, where you're feeling like, some fans are feeling like, get the fuck out of here, no, that wouldn't work, and other fans are just eating it up and loving it. So the reactions to this movie are exactly what the movie is kind of setting up for itself in a weird way, which is almost reverse meta. Like, because they predicted it. Or would that be Preda? No, that's a cheese. I don't know. It's fucking weird, though, because the people are reacting to the movie like they predicted in the movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I wish I had the scanner's exploding head fucking drop here for you. You know what I'm saying? It would totally fit. But yeah, it was a little bit like you had to sit back and actually give it a little bit of thought to see where you're at with it. I get that. But yeah.
And it kind of seems like going back to the small town feel again, like everybody's still there. Everybody's fucking everybody. everyone's related in some way, shape, or form. But that's kind of small town,
Yeah.
I guess. So it works. I don't know. That ending was hard for me, and I want to talk about one last thing about the ending, and that is when Sam goes up to Gail and Sydney and asks, "Am I going to be okay?" You know, like that's kind of a. I was just fucking around, Shori. Sorry.
Oh God.
No, she asked, "Preta is a cheese. Did you mean feta, or did I just miss here?" I was just making shit up. Did that work? Did that work for you? Where she's asking if she's going to be okay? I mean, is she asking the right people? Because these people have been through hell like a lot.
It's a fair question. Yes,
Ziggy.
It's a fair question. It absolutely is, and I was fine with that because she's the whole time Sydney's trying to tell her, look, I've been through this more than once, and this is what's going on, and this is that, and like, yeah, she's like, eventually. So it's going to be a rough walk. I was okay with that. That exchange was good.
Okay. What about you, Lorena?
Yeah, I agree. I would want to know too, and who else is she going to ask?
Okay.
You know.
I'm just saying, Scream. They kind of like go for a little more. These films like go for a little more realism because Ghostface trips all the time, misses people all the fucking time. And that question made sense, but it's like, wouldn't she still be in such a state of shock? That'd probably be one of the last questions I would think to ask anybody. Again,
everybody was a bit too calm,
but you pull out of it, it made sense. I was okay with the exchange. Cheesy, yes, but I completely agree with Marina there. She hit the nail on the fucking head.
I also think I don't think Sam would be just allowed to be wandering around the crime scene either, outside the crime scene after she just butchered somebody. I don't care if it was in self-defense or not. She butchered the fuck out of somebody. There'd at least be an officer, like, hand on her shoulder, like, yeah, I'm going to be close to you for a little bit.
Yeah, well, then again, to an earlier point I made, if you got shot in the gut and stabbed in the gut, you ain't going to be chilling, drinking fucking tea and fucking
Right.
So...
Give me some OJ.
And a cookie.
Dude. Luke says, I'm glad there's no garage door in this one. The former garage door tech, that scene in the original drives me nuts. Yeah, that door would never go up.
Crushed your head like a milk jug.
Yeah. And Luke also mentions maybe the next time the motive should be no motive. Wouldn't that be more original in the Scream realm? I'm kind of surprised they haven't gone that route yet, really.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah. They've teased it.
I would be more okay. Yeah. Yeah.
They tease it in every fucking movie, but they never go back to that. So, all right. Let's give this one a number. Because
we can't do that just yet. We can't do that just yet. We got to get back in with Jack and David and see where they're at.
Oh, shit, David. What is that? I don't know. Come on. Come on, where? Anywhere. I think we should just keep moving.
It's not looking good for those guys, man. I have to tell you.
I have a bad feeling where this is going.
Yeah, man.
All right. So, scale of 0 to 10. This is not the rankings. This is just the rating for this particular film. Lorena, we'll start with you as the guest.
I am going to give it a tentative 4.
4? Woo!
Because as I said, my hearing is shit. Wear your earplugs, kids.
Yeah.
So I missed some stuff. I actually read a synopsis today, kind of in between classes, and realized I really did miss some stuff. So I think I should really give it another look. That could go up, that could go down.
Okay. Well, what? Nice.
What?
One thing you might have missed that I thought was just again, I thought they were reaching too much to make everyone related somehow. But the Vince character, the weird older guy with the cool car, ended up being Stu's kid. Why?
Yeah.
Yes, and I did miss that, but I read that today. So yeah. And did you say why?
Yeah, why? What was the purpose of that?
Yeah, I know.
Just another
I
red
know.
herring?
Another name drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something to pad the numbers, I guess. I don't fucking know.
This movie could have turned into an entire like Ancestry.com commercial.
How
That's what
small is that town?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm worried about this now. All right, so we got a 4 from Lorena. Colonel, what's your rating for this one?
Oh boy. Again, I guess you can put me on record as being a Scream hater. I wouldn't. But you know, I went into this with little to no expectations after binging 1 through 4 days in a fucking row. I took a break on Saturday because football. I can't say I hated this movie. I thought it was okay at best. Yeah, it had some parts I didn't like. I did like the kills. That's the main reason why I'm watching this. I appreciated the blood. Plot holes and all. I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
Wow.
Ziggy.
Again, I was watching it, the first 2/3, first 2 acts. I was like, we have a contender here for top 3. Easy. And then we got to the fucking reflections in the mirror and the look of pride from a psychotic delusion. That's just too much for me, man. It just knocked the shit way to fuck down. And I think our discussion here today probably helped me get it back to a 5.5. And that's the best I can do on this.
That's where I was going to go, but I didn't want to give it a half.
I'll do it. I'll half that bitch. It ain't worth a 6.
Okay, wait a minute. You say a lot of your big thing is the fact that Billy Loomis is a manifestation looking at her with pride and like, yeah. So does the whole good job, Jason, do it for mommy. You've done well, Jason. Is that different?
That's got nothing to do with it, and it's not even apples and oranges, dude. That's like apples and fucking plywood. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's just different.
So
it doesn't compare.
So it's safe to assume that you hate the end of fucking Return of the Jedi, right?
I hate it. I love the song from the Ewoks. How about that?
Does that make Billy Loomis a Force ghost?
Fuck.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
What'd you say to me?
Asshole.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I was okay with the first couple of episodes where she said that, but you don't point out where what fucking counter weapons are, and you certainly don't sit there with a look of pride and joy. I'm sorry, you don't. You can't.
But he would. He would.
No.
But he would. He's fucked up in the head. But then again, how was she? Because she never knew the motherfucker. So I see your point too.
This made me so angry with this fucking movie, dude, while I was having dinner afterwards. I couldn't, I was trying to just go along with shit, and I just kept going back to that. Like, why the fuck how could that possibly, it just what, in her crazy psychosis, she's taking the pride from dad?
Were you angrier with this movie or angrier with Halloween Kills walking out of the theater? Because I was pissed off walking out of Halloween Kills the first time.
Okay.
Good point.
I'm equally annoyed with how I felt walking out of Halloween Kills.
Don't take the light way out.
That's
Bullshit.
not
Give me an answer.
They were both fucking bullshit, fucking cop out, stupid fucking moments that kind of fucked up their movies, respectively.
All right. Well, side note. Am I the only one that noticed Zag sniffed his fucking fingers? He was like,
yeah.
What the fuck is right?
Who's there with you? Were you paying the camera over a little bit? Who's there?
Who's there? What the hell is
Better
it?
not be the dog, dude. I'd be like, Cody Mix Society.
No, good guy.
Dick.
That'll get us kicked off the air, man. Especially on Betty White's birthday. We're supposed to be
I was
nice
showered,
people.
and I'm
Not like
clean.
that. Come on. Fuck, guys.
What do I got to do to bring this back on?
How are Jack and David?
I'm telling you, God.
It's moving.
Good. I'm
All
glad
right.
they're doing okay so far.
They're going to make it, I think.
For my rating, I'm going to give it a 6 as well. I'm not a huge fan of this series. Don't feel bad. I didn't mind this one though. It had the unenviable position of being written into a corner because of the other 4 movies. And they did try to stay somewhat on top of the other 4 movies. They didn't try to erase any of them. They didn't try to necessarily overlook any of them. They included all of them as if 1 through 4 happened. Unlike some of these requels that we have been getting where, everything after Halloween 78 did not happen. So they were kind of written into a corner, and pretty much this was there were a few things I didn't like the hallucinations of Billy Loomis. I thought that was a little too much. I thought they gave away too much when it came to the killers. The red herrings meant almost nothing once. And the one that I was talking about when we first started the show, the giveaway for me was Richie's reaction when Ghostface gets shot in the hospital by Dewey. He actually looked concerned for it, the other killer, and I'm like, well, fuck. And I just looked at my friend and I was like, did you do that? She was like, yeah. I was like, well, we got half the formula figured out.
Right.
But
okay, and I had that when Dewey just said it's the love interest usually, and I was like, oh, there you go.
I thought that too, but that could have been a red herring.
It could have, but I just by his kind of stiff, cold reaction and question to it, like, oh, so that I was like, okay, it stuck out, and the fact that it was one of the first ones that they brought up, you always got to look at those first couple, and that's usually where your money is in the end.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give it a 6. So we got 2 6s, a 5.5, and a 4, probably averaging out to slightly over 5.
5.25.
Yeah. So middle of the road movie, I'm sure. Let us know in the comments what your rating for this would be. I know a lot of you are huge fans of the Scream franchise, and we get that. And we've kind of been talking about this for a while, and we just haven't really pinned it down. I think Ghostface in the Scream movies are obviously the 90s and early 2000s generations Friday the 13th for us. And I think it's partially generational because I know a lot of parents that took their kids, at 9 and 10 to go see Scream in 96.
Took
and
my
now
9-year-old today.
Yeah, and now they're going back 25 years later with either their grown parent, or their 10-year-old, So I think it's a generational thing in a way, and I can't knock you for enjoying this movie. I just, not necessarily my thing.
But
now, Colonel can knock you because he's a hard-ass motherfucker.
No, I'm not knocking anybody, and I agree with you that it more likely is generational. Like I stated earlier, this came out in 96. I was 11, 12 years old. I was already well-versed in the realms of Friday the 13th and Halloween. This could have been my Friday the 13th, but I was so stuck on those. I'll be honest, at that age, I seen Scream, and I felt like it was mocking these movies I loved. So I was like, fuck you, at that age. Which
let me ask you guys.
We'll go back to that in my rankings, I guess. But
okay. Well, let me ask you guys this: when you went to see this in the theater, my theater, Friday night, 7 p.m., full of kids. Now, when I say kids, a lot of times I mean 20 and 25-year-old people. But no, I'm talking fucking toddlers, like fucking 6-year-old to 8-year-old kids in my theater. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people? And I thought at first there were a lot of empty seats in the theater. But then I kept seeing little heads bob up, because they were standing on the chairs and shit. And I was like, holy shit, were there a lot of kids in the theater when you went to see it, Lorena?
I didn't actually see it in the theater.
Oh.
Never mind.
We're coming after you.
We're going to edit that out.
Yes. In the
Colonel, how
meantime,
about you?
I got it from somebody else. I got it from the Horror Mafia.
the Horror
All right.
Mafia.
Yeah.
They also gave us this.
Hunters of the night. They awake as the sun goes down. No, we're not talking about vampires. We're talking about bats.
Yes.
I actually looked. I knew it was coming, and I actually looked a little bit.
Figure that was a good one. A nice swirling cluster in a cave. Yeah, real ones.
Good Lord.
Mm.
Colonel, were there a lot of kids in the theater when you saw it?
I got lucky because, like I said, I decided to go before a snowstorm hit. I was like, let's try to get this in early. So there's like 12 people max in the entire theater, and the only kid there was mine. So,
Oh, shit. Well,
It was
but your
fucking
kid's like
perfect.
14 or something,
it's 12.
right?
12.
Okay.
I said my youngest one. I wouldn't bring her. We don't. The scariest thing I watch with her is Vampirina on fucking Disney. She knows all the shit, but we don't watch it.
I was shocked by the amount of kids. Ziggy, were there kids in your theater?
I went at
Oh, you
1:45
went during the
today.
day.
Yeah, so but there were I'd say there's probably a total of maybe 25 people in the whole theater. So we were spread out pretty good, but I'd say 6, 7, 8 people in there were 9 or under, like 9, 6, 7 right in there.
I'd say 40% of my theater was under 10. And there were probably 50 to 60 people in there.
So my kid, like he was after a half hour, he was sitting there, you just tell he was like, fuck. It was too talky for him,
I don't know. Looks like Carrie says 7 for her rating, better than Kills. Orlando. Oh, yeah. Where'd it go? Orlando says 8.5.
Wow.
Luke says 6.5. There we go. Raymond says, I went to the early show Sunday, 20 people max, no kids. Well,
No kids.
Maybe it's just my fucking idiotic state. We are ranked 48th in education for a reason, I'm sure. So, all right, then let's get into the overall franchise rankings. And God damn it, Colonel, I know you're excited to go first on this one.
Yeah. Oh, before I do, Raymond gave us a score.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, he just popped up. Now it gives me time to pull my list up.
All right, Raymond says 6.5.
I mean, I like Crank said, we know Scream is endeared on certain levels by many people, I mean, and to me, because it did revitalize slashers back in '96, right?
Yeah, it was a shot in the arm, man.
Yeah,
and to still see a killer in a mask with a knife in 2022, that's always going to be okay in my book. Yeah.
All right, Colonel.
All right, before I get started, yes, Scream did revitalize the slasher genre, but also, as I stated in the past, I'll state it again for our new viewers who may not know this. At the end of the day, I still want to say fuck Scream, because without Scream, we would not have the fine film that is Halloween Resurrection. Fuck Scream. But I digress. Sorry.
He's got a point.
Coming in at number 5, how could this not be at the bottom of anybody's fucking list? And Scream 3. Jesus Christ. Not, like I said, the mustache, the terrible haircut, the fucking awful reveal of the killer. If you guys don't know, it was her brother.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are
Director
you?
of the Stab movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
Meddling kids.
It's just awful. Fucking awful. That's all the love that deserves. Here's where I might catch some hate. But again, Scream and Scream 2 were the only ones I've seen. I had a chance to rewatch these kind of with fresh eyes. I haven't seen Scream or Scream 2 since they originally released. It's coming at number 4, Scream 2. Probably deserves to be higher on my list. I'm going to be honest, but at the same time, it was too cheesy almost. But like, it didn't mean to be cheesy. That's my problem with Scream 2. I'm like, it just so reminded me of the fucking horror films I watched in that time period that I fucking hated. Like, it took me back to that fucking time. All right, and I was just like, I hate these fucking movies. I was born a decade too fucking early. All right, we'll just admit that for what I do love. I do not like late 90s, early 2000s horror, man. Not most of them. Coming in at number 3, I mean, middle of the road all around on this one, Scream 2022. I don't need to talk about this fucking movie anymore, so let's go to number 2. Pretty obvious at this point, right? Scream 4. Super fucking cheesy. Super fucking cheesy. But meant to be cheesy. I just got...
It worked.
It worked. Exactly. It's like the cheesiness was perfect, and they knew it was fucking cheesy. And I did enjoy it. The end, still, none of these really have good endings other than the first one. But this one I was able to tolerate a little bit more with the distant fucking cousin that wanted the same accolades. And coming in at number 1, how could it not be number 1? It's fucking Scream. Duh. I mean, again, okay. Little Colonel, 1996. You're making fun of my movies. Fuck you. I don't like you. I'm not ever going to watch this movie ever again. The hell did I promise for fucking 25 fucking years? Rewatched it. I appreciate it. It's a good movie. It's a good fucking movie. And one thing I loved that I never would have noticed in 96 that I notice now was just Dewey when he's going through the fucking house. And it's timed up perfect to the music and Halloween. I didn't notice that in 96, but I noticed it now. There's some brilliant fucking things in that movie. It gave me a whole new respect for Scream. I'm still not going to watch it unless someone absolutely wants to watch it. I'm not going to be like, you know what? I want to watch Scream tonight. But if someone said, hey, you want to watch Scream? I'm like, yeah, let's watch it.
Well, I have bad news for you, Colonel, because next week we're reviewing the Scream MTV series. So,
no, we're not. We're doing what's Scream.
Yeah, I think that would be universally met with this from all of us.
Fuck you.
I can't say it, though, because I didn't watch it. It could be good. Who knows?
And I gave it a chance, and it's no good. I
just noticed the mask. I kind of dug the mask. I was like, at least they tried to be different.
Looked like it was trying to, do a fucking number on somebody. The mouth.
Yeah.
So the guy did this live.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking.
All
right, Colonel.
Nice list, Colonel. Lorena, do you have a list of rankings?
I do.
All right,
I
let's
do,
get yours,
and I actually
then.
made some notes, and this is weird because it's pretty much identical to Colonel's. Number 5.
What's wrong with you people?
Scream 3. I don't know what he was thinking. Frankly, I would have been happy if Wes Craven had stuck with the backwater podunk thing. I think those are the best that he did.
Like Hills Have Eyes, stuff
Last
like
House
that.
on the Left.
Last House on the
American
Left.
Gothic, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that kind of thing. Exactly. And so, but having said that, this is still, this series is not, well, I like the first one anyway. Scream 3 is not good. I don't know if he read Hollywood Babylon and didn't realize that Kenny was kind of a gossip queen. I did get, and this made it worse. I think I got what they were going for with that. They go from the small town and move to college and then Hollywood because we're making the movies, right?
Right.
And they were, and with Maureen, it was so convoluted. with Maureen having been there, and she was raped by the director and the half brother, and it just. I think
It was
they
too
were trying to do a
Scooby-Doo.
little tribute to the yes, to do a little tribute to the silver screen. They had the secret screening room, which people did have, but yeah, it was just it was too much. I have two main standards when it comes to non-supernatural horror. One is is it within the realm of what I'm okay believing?
Okay.
And this was not. And the other is, can I figure out who it is? I mean, is it obvious who the killer is? Okay. That I did not guess because it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't care. By that point, I just didn't care when they brought in the whole, yeah, your mom was here and she was the starlet. La, la, la. And they looked up and she was under the other name. Bucket. I don't care. And one thing I did make some notes. One thing I really hated, yeah, the different voices. What the fuck was that?
Oh,
The
that
voice change box.
fucking retarded.
What are we in Home Alone now?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back that up. Back that up.
That was
Don't say
just,
that.
yeah, they should not have fucked with the voice. They fucked with the voice.
Yeah, they did.
So, yeah.
I see where they were going with that, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
All right.
And actually, I watched. I liked the first one. I liked the second one. Okay, that one went downhill for me. Further watching, I hated Scream 3 from the get go, and that's why I didn't watch 4 until this last weekend. Number 4, Scream 2.
Oh wow.
And the I blame one character for this more than anything else. the mom, the reporter, played by Laurie Metcalf. Laurie Metcalf can't really fucking act. And if you notice, like when she is hiding behind Sid, at the end when Cotton is pointing the gun at both of them, she's like she ducks behind Sid, but then every time she talks to him, she's like, my grandfather, whenever he was driving with somebody in the back seat, full on face eye contact, shoot her in the head. She's sticking her head way out here, every fucking, she just wasn't. I would have liked it better if not for her. I like Jerry O'Connell. I thought they did a really good job. Jerry O'Connell, the boyfriend, making him a little bit stalkery, so we could suspect him.
Yes.
And yeah, and then they throw the obsessed movie guy in there, which I didn't appreciate.
Randy. Colonel.
Yeah, no, the Mickey.
Timothy Olyphant.
Another killer.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Lorraine.
Yes, Colonel.
I gotta jump in because I didn't think about this till you mentioned his name. That's another reason why I hate fucking Scream 2. Jerry O'Connell doing that fucking dance number. He jumps off.
That was stupid.
Here's my frat necklace, girl. Keep it safe. I'm like, sorry.
it was, I mean, they had to give her a love interest to make him a suspect, right?
Right.
I thought they did okay with it. It could have been
Then
worse.
the next scene, he walks on. He's like, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, yeah.
3.
Anyway.
Okay.
2002 or 2022 or Scream 5 or whatever we're calling it, the new one.
All right.
And we covered most of what I hated about this, but the one thing we didn't. And again, I get what they were going for with this, with Nev, with Sid and Gail going, we have to kill him. This is our mission now. The killer dies in every fucking movie. They know that's not going to end jack shit.
Right.
at least it made sense in Halloween Kills, you know.
Evil dies tonight.
But they know it's not going to end anything. They know this. They've been in every other fucking movie. They've done this 4 times before. Killing the killers isn't going to end.
No, there'll just be a new killer.
Right, exactly.
Huh.
So that whole thing just meant nothing.
No. That is a good point.
Mm.
That was
I hated
weird.
that. That pissed me off. And yeah, the Billy crap too. That was dumb. Yes, number 2, Scream 4, which I have only seen once, and the first time was just this last Saturday.
Okay.
I feel like I was kind of missing out there. That, aside from the first one, that was the only one that came close to feeling believable enough for me to be okay with it. I could see that. It was 2011. The cousin was growing up at a time when everybody looked like they were living their best life online and had their 15 minutes of fame, and she had to live under the shadow of Sid.
That was definitely one motive that worked. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, then they get the film kid in there again, and of course he's a Culkin, but you know, that I was okay with that. I grew up, see, when I say that what's believable to me, I grew up in a state with Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Slenderman killings, and in my little hometown, somebody was brutally murdered. I knew the person who was murdered, and I knew the person who killed them.
Oh, shit.
So mine maybe stretches a little bit more. But it
would
worked.
say so.
And yeah. And for all of these, I did not guess, and I don't try to guess, but I did not guess who the killer or killers were in any of them. Except 2022.
Yeah.
It was
Pretty obvious.
just like there was a spotlight on the boyfriend. Come on. Give me a break. Yeah. I did like I will go back a little bit. I did like in 2022 when the sister was crawling out of bed in the hospital and her leg was wrapped up. She was obviously in pain. She was having a hard time moving. I think that's the first time they ever did that realistically. Because in all the other ones, you've got injured people rolling around and beating the shit out of, you know.
Right.
Come on. People wouldn't really be like that. I like that they did that realistically, but then later they have her kicking ass. So yeah.
She's a fast healer.
Very fast. Yeah. Now I will give an honorable mention to the 1.5 episodes I watched of the series.
Oh no.
I tried.
I have no poster for that.
I tried. I guess it's nice to know that Hollywood's idea of lesbians hasn't changed much. That's all I could do. Fuck out of here. Number 1, of course, the original Old and Golden Scream 1. I loved this from the get-go. You know, they drew you in right away. It was believable.
With Drew. They drew you in.
I grew up in a house out in the middle of nowhere. I could see that. It was terrifying. It really was. It would have taken the cops probably 5 minutes to get out there, but hey, you could kill a lot of people in 5 minutes if you're really determined.
Like you kept saying, you won't make it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they won't make it. I could believe that. I firmly believed that when I was in that house at midnight watching, like, let's scare Jessica to death. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. The vampires are gonna come in the window, and I'm gonna die.
Open the window.
Vampires? Vampires? What are you talking about?
Vampires?
Let's scare Jessica
You
to
mean-
death.
Oh, you mean
Yes, I know what you're getting at.
I didn't even see that. That didn't come through for me. So
Oh.
your timing is Jesus.
That one wasn't me.
Whoa, it wasn't?
and there were actually bats out there too. Yeah. Okay. Because it was surrounded by woods.
Very
Now you see, that's where I was. I was up there.
I know.
Do that, so that's why I wasn't.
I know.
Here where the bats were.
I know.
It's all right. It's a wonderful
That's why
list.
I was trying to stretch.
And it was exactly like Colonel's. So
It was exactly Colonel.
I would not have watched 4. That's another movie I wouldn't have watched if not for you
Yeah.
guys. So thank you.
I wasn't looking forward to it. I'll tell you that much. But I
Neither
was
was I, and
looking
pleasantly
forward
surprised.
to the next adventure of David and Jack.
Isn't this fun?
Oh man, there's only one chapter left. What could we possibly have?
Thank God.
Stay tuned.
All right. Orlando has got his list on here. Number 5, Scream 3. Did like Jenny McCarthy's death, he says. Number 4, Scream 2. Number 3, Scream 4. Number 2, the latest one, Scream 2022. And number 1, Scream 96, of course. I think 96 Scream is going to be everybody's number 1.
Yeah.
And Scream
Probably
3
should
is
be.
probably going to be everybody's number 5.
Probably
Am
should.
I wildly guess out of that?
Ray, nice list.
It could have been good.
Orlando.
3 could have been good.
Oh, Orlando. My bad.
3 could have been good, but it just wasn't.
It
It
really
wasn't.
wasn't. It was bad.
Patricia says she's going to have to revisit these. It's been a while for her. Yes, you have to go.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend, and this is one I would recommend watching the original 4 before seeing the new one, for sure.
Definitely.
Raymond says his is part 3, part 5, part 2, part 4, and then the original. Yep.
Good
Sounds
list,
about right.
Raymond.
Patricia says she's got to get going, but you did great, Lorena.
Ah.
It was wonderful seeing you. Have a great night. Yeah. Luke says his ranking is 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. His ranking best to worst. You like part 2 better than 1. Okay. Interesting.
I can't argue with that because I went back and forth on it, to be honest.
I liked it too as well. It was just that it was Laurie Metcalf. It wrecked it for me.
Yeah.
I just dug
Unfortunate.
I liked, well, I'll get to it when I get to my list.
All right. Here's my biggest complaint about 1 and 2. Product of their times, but goddamn it, I always get so mad when I'm watching a movie and people hold their guns like this.
Oh, good Lord.
Sorry.
BK says, I want to party with this chick. I think he's talking about you, Lorena.
Oh, okay. I'm pushing 50.
No, so is he.
Shori wants to know if Chris is still here, was talking to her husband, and then mom started talking about her hometown. Yeah, Carrie says the original is her number 1, of course. I'm shocked we have anybody that didn't have that. But yeah, Luke, of course, had to break the mold a little bit. All right, here's another one. Stacy Lynn says, bottom top, my rating, number 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. I'm not a big fan of the Scream series, but watched them as they came out, but never got into rewatching them until this weekend. It was a good recap of it. It was a little fun assignment. to watch these movies and gave me something to do on my long weekend off. Excellent. Yeah. We all had homework this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ziggy, what's your list look like?
I will power through this in the interest of getting Colonel to bed.
Yep.
Yeah, number 5, number 3. Dude, I mean, this is when they took that serious kind of slasher that was scary and got a little with the stupid slapstick worked in a little too much. And this is the one that did it. So yeah, it's the worst fucking one. The Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah.
Man, was that fucking lazy.
A funny man. That's the matter with you.
It's the only time I would ever consider slapping Wes Craven was for this movie right here.
What?
Yeah. Number 4, it's the Scream 2022, the one we just saw today. We've been down the road and everything, but god damn it, you don't have psychotic delusions that look proud ever. You get a 4 because of it. I wanted to put it behind 3 and I couldn't because 3 is just that bad.
Yeah.
Number 3, just saw it on Saturday for the first time, Scream 4. And it was decent. I kind of dug the newer, it was just that YouTube thing was kind of happening and the stream, and these guys had a show and a horror film festival. Awesome. That was great. Did pick the killer in that one. The cousin kind of threw me a little bit, but should have known better, I guess. Number 2, I went back and forth. I honestly considered putting this one ahead at number 1, but then in the end, just not as cool. And number 2, Scream 2. I dig the end with Cotton going, yeah, Barbara Walters would really be a good idea right now. What do you say, Sidney? I and you don't really know. If anyone has any reason to pop Sidney in between the eyes, Cotton. Why not? Who's gonna fucking know? He's pissed. He fucking went to jail over this shit. So I like that ending. And
I could have liked it too, but she was sticking her head out like 3 feet. But I just, yeah.
Laurie Metcalf, Roseanne's sister on the show. That's what I kept seeing. So yeah, that distracts me more than her unable to really execute a sadistic, crazy person. I know, but she's not. She went and found a crazy person to coach and mentor, and yeah. But anyway,
I don't think they're
Scream
crazy,
2.
but yeah.
Obviously, the king of them all, number 1, Scream, the one that revitalized our slasher genre that we love so well. And yeah, I mean, I really wish Matthew Lillard could have got it and made an appearance in this somehow. That would have made this new one a little bit better. But I digress. He didn't. At least we got his house. They went back to the same house. I did love a lot of the shots they did. That was cool with the newer one. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to go into the Scream realm, just go with the best. I mean, it starts you right off. You got Drew Barrymore getting hacked to pieces and gutted. It was good, man. It was nice and refreshing to get back to this kind of horror in that time. So yes, number 1, 96, Scream.
Very
nice list, Siggy. All right. As I kind of predicted, 3 is at the bottom of everyone's list. 1 is at the top for us, at least. I'm going to power through mine, too. 3. I do want to talk about 3 slightly for a little bit because it's got that great Harvey Weinstein-esque cameo in it that Lance Henriksen plays. Now, I thought, rewatching this again recently, that was kind of in bad taste. But Luke pointed out that he had seen some documentaries where he saw Wes Craven say they did that intentionally. It was kind of a fuck you to Harvey Weinstein. And Harvey even came back to Wes at one point and was just like, yep, you got me. Now, I have yet to been able to find that. I've watched the documentary he said it was in, but I have not found any mention of that yet. So I don't know if that's the fact or not. But I don't know. It was weird. And additionally, it was so weird, the 2022 one opening and not seeing Dimension Films at the front of it. So that shook me a little bit. Anyway, number 3 is, I did, but it was still weird. I'm glad it did. but it was still kind of weird.
Yeah, I get that.
Number 4 for me is Scream 2. I don't like this one at all. I don't know why. Not like as many other people do. I know a lot of people are like, oh, 1 and 2 will always be my favorites. No. I did not like 2. There was a lot about it I didn't like. Lorena's mention of Aunt Becky.
Laurie Metcalf.
Laurie Metcalf,
Aunt
yeah.
Jackie, yes.
Aunt Jackie. Good Lord. But yeah, I just don't get this one. I don't get the hype for this one. It's like they dared each other to go over the top even more with some of it. And they were just like, yeah, why not? Fuck. Paychecks works. So number 2, my bottom part. Number 4 there. Number 3 for me, Scream 4. Good Lord. This one I think is underrated a little bit. So much talent in this one too. Hayden Panettiere, Britt Robertson, Amy Teagarden, lots of people that you just don't see very much of, but good actors. And I like part 4. And I think Emma Roberts this was one of her earlier roles in the horror genre, and I think she's here to stay now. So I hope she does more. Number 2, though, man, like I said, the fact that they wrote themselves so much into a hole or back up against the corner for Scream 5, I thought they did a pretty decent job with this. It's my number 2, and of course, Scream 1996, number 1. You can't top the best. So there you go.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the reason I think part 3 gets so much hate is because it's before part 5, at least, it was the only one that wasn't written by Kevin Williamson. It was written by Aaron Kruger. And I like some of Aaron Kruger's stuff, but this one just does not work.
Yeah, well, put the fucking slapstick down, stupid, and you won't fucking ruin it and be the worst movie in a franchise. Idiots.
Right.
And they did a little bit in this new one, but it's nowhere near to the level of that movie.
Yeah. Carrie wants to know, what was the documentary, Crank? It was called Still Screaming, and I believe you can find it on YouTube. It's an hour and a half long. Decent, but Luke, if you're still watching, I didn't see anything in that documentary about that part 3 being an intentional, jab at Weinstein. So, and I looked for hours after that trying to find stuff, but couldn't find anything.
Say that. Yeah,
I don't know, but bad taste if it wasn't some kind of like subtle jab, because god damn, one of his main accusers was in the first movie.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck. The reviews
Lorena.
done. What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The reviews
Lorena?
done. The lists are done. We got to finish one more thing. Jack and David, what happens?
It's in front of us.
You really scared me, you shithead.
See, they're fine. They're fine.
Ridiculous.
Are they
You
though?
feel better now.
I had so much fun making that, and I was really so fucking pissed when I couldn't run it. And I was like, I am going to get around this. And there it was.
He's been laughing for a good solid 4 days about all that.
Well, you guys saw it on front.
And being pissed because he couldn't use it. But anyway, Lorena, thank you for joining us and giving us your 2 cents.
Absolutely.
Actually, I think we probably got about 7 to 8 cents, but
Yeah.
At least, yeah. But I warned you.
I know.
I told you.
We
I didn't have to.
expected it, and
I didn't have to mute you once, though.
Right.
You didn't.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to. We appreciate you being a final girl and sticking with us and supporting us and all that. And even I think FaZe even said something up here earlier that I wanted to get to, and then I
way early. She's
There it is. He says, "While I've got a second," he goes, "Thanks for being a guest on the show, Mom. I appreciate you supporting my bros for all these years and even checking them out at all in the first place. These guys are the best, and I'm glad you've been as involved as you have. You did it to get me to shut up about it at first, but now you're clearly a part of the society."
I did not. That is not true. I was ready to be tough on you guys way back 3 years ago, though, but you drew me right in.
We lured
Even
you
when there
in.
were 4 of you.
4 of us.
You really
There used to be
Yeah.
4?
4?
Man.
I don't know. Maybe it was a bat.
A bat?
Oh, it was. It was.
I'm so delighted with your performance tonight. I'm not going to torture you with any more bats tonight. I'm going to give it a rest.
Forever. You should just drop the bats.
Drop the bats.
Drop the bats.
You can drop that. I'd be okay with you dropping the bats.
Drop the bats? Okay. You mean right now drop the bats? Oh, no, I get you. Drop them. Yeah, I see.
You could bring on more rats.
What?
So dumb.
What is that?
But anyway, Lorena, we're going to let you go so we can wrap it up.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
thanks for playing with us tonight.
Me on. It was
Thanks for
fun.
having me on.
It was
Long
fun.
time coming.
I'll do it anytime, I could talk
Yeah.
for hours.
We figured that out.
We've got things on the horizon that could use a hand.
Yes.
Hey, just let me know. Absolutely. Now my schedule's going to change again, of course, when the time changes. But I can work shit out.
We'll work it out.
We'll be in touch, and we'll see you next week. All right.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lorena.
Woo! Oh yeah, man, that was fun.
Fucking Lorena. There she is.
I love her. She talks a lot, but I love her.
She's awesome. I knew she was going to talk a lot. Look at her list. But
yeah,
I could talk horror with her all fucking day.
Oh yeah.
So I did not mind one bit.
All right. Well, that wasn't too terrible of a review. I thought it was actually better than I expected it to be. So.
Oh,
I'm still glad we're done with fucking Scream. Yeah. I will not revisit 4 of the fucking 5 movies ever again.
We should be good for another 10 years.
Surprisingly, I didn't. Oh no, there's going to be another sequel in like 2 years.
3 years after the money it fucking made. I was like, God damn it! When I saw how well it was doing, I was pissed.
Yeah. Oh, they set it so completely up for a sequel, man. Ziggy, send them out for the night. We got to wrap this up.
Man, that was fun. You can join us too. Be a final guy or girl, and we'll bring your mug out here, and you can tell us how much you like or hate Scream or whatever the fuck it is we're talking about that day. But yeah, man, we love it. Thank you so much. More shit to come. I'm going to keep saying it until the shit actually comes. So there's shit coming in 2022, and it's going to be cool to be involved with the DCS.
Oh, yeah.
And if it happens, I said yay in Messenger, then bounced right the fuck out and went back to work.
Yes. We got the approval.
Pretty much. Colonel.
Well, until times fucking change, I'm never going to be able to change my fucking sign out. So I got to keep saying this. This is bullshit. Don't get sick. Wash your dick. Don't smell like a Scuba Steve. Use Summer's Eve. And yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I like it when our final girls and guys come on.
Yeah.
I was talking shit like, oh, that's not a perk. We're sure it's a cool perk, but for us, it's a cool perk to have you on. It's a lot of fun.
I think we have more fun with it than they do sometimes.
I think so.
It's a fair statement.
That I think is true. But yeah, try to get another one in maybe next week. Next month.
Next month.
Yeah. One last time, I would like to thank our final girls, Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone, and our crazy Ralphs, Angelo, Raymond, our camp counselors, Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. You want to do that again?
Wow.
Next week, since we talked about our least favorite Wes Craven, well, maybe not least favorite, we're going to talk about our top 5 Wes Craven films. You guys ready for that?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm not used to Craven.
There's a lot more choices than you would think.
Yep. Now, should we include non-horror products like Music of the Heart if we like that movie?
Fuck
No.
it. Yeah. I say yeah.
No.
I mean, that's not going to be on my list, but you can
No.
if you want.
No.
I think
I'll
we should.
accept The Hills Have Eyes. How about that?
That's horror.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're afraid of like Meryl Streep, Music of the Heart could be horror too.
She's kind of.
I'm just saying,
so.
we talking about fucking Ghostbusters, Godzilla, and King Kong. We're even talking about covering fucking Morbius. He can put it on his goddamn list, Zag.
He can if he wants. I won't.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to ask just to see if it would stir. I didn't realize it would stir up as much bullshit as you guys.
Yes. Raven.
Orlando says he's going to become a final guy just so we can have some Latino flair on the show sometime. Bring it on,
Hey,
man!
man. We love it. Kidding me?
Bring it on. Oh, Luke asked, are we gonna include Craven's porn movies too?
Of course.
I know Colonel will.
I will.
He did do some of that softcore and horror shit.
Colonel's got the hairiest palms of all of us, so.
I don't know.
Can you tell me how this happened? I can, sir. If you don't stop that, you'll go blind.
That's it for us, gang. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week with our top 5 Wes Craven films. Start watching your Wes Craven films and making your own list as well. And don't forget to visit us at deathcursesociety.com. All that good stuff. We got more coming for you soon, so stay tuned. And love y'all. We'll catch you next week. Woo!
Rock and roll! Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to Monday, it's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday. Asshole!